Hey, it's Soul with another video. With less than 10 days left till the War Within Early Access launch, now's a good time to panic. No, it's time to draw up plans for our characters in the first few weeks. What I'll present to you today are my personal plans based on my playstyle, my goals. So this is not a guide, but more like a jumping off point for your own decision making, but there's plenty of knowledge to share. Think of this as a series of tips and anecdotes. If this does turn out useful, please hit the like button, subscribe for more WoW coverage, and catch me live on Twitch. First, I should describe my player profile so y'all know where I'm coming from as I talk about my plans. So far, I have 21 level 70 characters under my belt with at least one of each class. I'm also a one-trick pony, as in I have a main, and the other characters are like serfs to the master, if that makes any sense. I run a guild, and at best we do heroic raids and keys that'll earn us Keystone Master achievements. I don't play at a particularly high level, nor am I a completionist, but I do play a lot and I like making gold. I tend to go hard at the start of a season or an expansion with the intent that I can coast off of my hard work for the remainder. Let's get to my plans during early access. I live in California, so I'll be on midday August 22nd, along with all the suckers ready to beta test the launch before the rest of you join up the following Monday. I have a few goals in mind. I'll be playing maybe 5 characters, with 2 of them reaching max level. So not too demanding. In fact, it sounds very weird, but it's definitely the goal, and here's how this will go. Character 1 is going to be my main, the one who, even in the worst case scenario during early access, will be at max level by the time we get to general release. Thanks to warbands, things like reputation gains are shared across the account. The only rep we should be earning during early access will come from the campaign and side quests. World quests, those aren't going to count. I'm not even sure if they're going to be available, but rep tokens from rares and respawnable treasures, those aren't expected. Only like the one-time reps at best, I'm guessing. This means my warband can kind of split up who does what. So my first character is going to cut straight through the main story quest or the MSQ for the first and second zone, but then they're going to complete every possible side quest in the third zone, Hallowfall. The hope and the expectation here, because I'm kind of guessing, is I'll get enough experience that I can cruise my way through the last zone without hitting any walls that ask me to level up more. I'm also going to do all the quests related to exploring the dells in each zone along with dungeon quests. I never made any exact calculations here, but the idea is to line up level 80 with completing the campaign as best as possible. In the meantime, I'll have fully explored the map and have unlocked Adventure Mode and Pathfinder. I expect to complete this step in the first, I'd say 12 or so hours of the expansion. I'll be streaming this leg of the journey, so if you're cool with us keeping each other company, hey, tune in whenever I'm live. Sometime during leveling, I'll poke around or maybe ask chat if realms and logins are stable, and if so, I'll start switching between characters to start building up rest XP. I'm gonna rest for a few hours, wake up in the morning, have a quick breakfast, and then we'll be in day 2, so it should be Friday now. Characters I level afterward will get to enjoy both Adventure Mode and Pathfinder, meaning they can level in any zone they want and enjoy steady flight. But I don't necessarily need them to be max level, as my alts are mostly going to be used for profession cooldowns. Otherwise, I'm very hands-off with them until there's like a big leveling event. So I'm going to try something different. My main fully completed all the questing in Hallowfall, so I guess an idea that I have is maybe the next 3 alts are going to take on a different zone each. They'll fully complete those, and then they're kind of done. I'll just park them over in Dornagolf to stand by for profession-related stuff. What I'm thinking is doing side quests on my max level character doesn't get them anything useful aside from, reputation, which is now shared with the warband, right? So it shouldn't be a big deal to spread those efforts across other characters instead. The other thing is I'm not trying to max out their levels either. I don't need my alts to be max level, I just need them to be functional for profession cooldowns, which from testing does not need max level. Alternatively, I can work on one alt at a time and have them do all the side quests, and then if they hit max level, okay, cool, then I'll switch to the next. So maybe I don't need 5 characters, maybe I need fewer, but whatever works as long as I don't feel like I'm wasting experience. So once I'm done with all the zone content and have Lore Master, I'm going to switch to the alt who will be taking up Dual Gathering. And the plan here is to do nothing but gather. I chose my hunter because they were my gatherer in Dragonflight, and also because they have the best name I ever thought of. I expect to be at or very close to this stage by the end of the second day. This means Saturday, the third day, might be nothing but gathering if I ran out of side quests to do. But yeah, I'm gonna gather. I'll be keeping an eye out whether I should sell materials now or wait for the general launch. There are two thoughts in my head with regards to selling materials or holding on to them. Early access people are pretty hardcore and they're willing to throw down more gold than the average player, but general release is when the full might of the economy is unleashed. It's going to be full of folks who are, likely to dump WoW tokens to buy stuff, not knowing what the value is. I'll be setting aside a portion of my goods for my own professions, and the rest I'll just sell them if the market's looking hot. The fourth day, Sunday, will be spent offline from streams so I can prepare video stuff to release throughout the week, but I'll also be processing engineering scrap since I'll be spending far less time actively playing. Now notice that what I've been doing here during early access was mostly lore master, starting up gathering, and preparing engineering. The story experience is fun and enriching, don't get me wrong, but from other points of view, it's kind of a time-consuming activity. Processing engineering scrap is a lot of me standing around, and I feel like the most efficient use of early access is to do things I'd rather not be doing during the hustle and bustle of release. So on launch day, I expect to feel a lot more relaxed without having to worry about, slamming quests and rushing here and there. So at 3 p.m. Pacific, while the majority of players are running into Kazalgar, I'm gonna hop right back into gathering while, hanging out and celebrating the launch with folks, doing giveaways and vibing. Because remember, the first official reset doesn't happen until Tuesday morning. I'm still kind of waiting for stuff. And in the meantime, I'll be staging my alts, as in bringing them over to Dornogal, learning professions, maybe have tools made for them if it's easy enough. Tuesday is when it'll be time to settle down from gathering, at least for a little while, so I can start practicing my weekly routine. I still don't have a full grasp of max level content, so I'm not going to be talking about it in good detail here, but here's what I'll be doing, like dailies, hunting rares, and finding treasures. It's when I'm going to start building up my alts professions in earnest, with a focus on alchemy cooldowns, and I'll start fulfilling patron crafting orders wherever I can. When I'm through with that, I'll use the rest of my time doing more gathering, and maybe rep grinding. And I'm going to have some goals during the preseason. It'll include making tons of gold, I hope, selling blacksmithing and engineering items via crafting orders, and building up the alt army to make alchemy items that should be profitable throughout the entire expansion. I haven't looked into it myself yet, but I'd like to get my renown levels into the mid-teens at least, so I can get some easy champion gear to supplement my gearing. I have the profession stuff done in my head, but the rest, the reps and delves, are things that I need to research later. My personal testing of max level activities is very limited, like I said, but so far it seems very welcoming in that it allows for a lot of flexibility in obtaining gear. Like, if I compare this to the Dragonflight weekly quest, we're not going to see stuff like, hey, you gotta do soup and get 1500 rep to complete the quest. It's more like you can choose a few out of the numerous available activities, preferably the ones that we find the most fun or can do the fastest for the biggest weekly prizes. Everything else is for, extra rep, enrichment, cosmetics, or whatever. Warbands feel great, but they really disrupt the sense of needing to level up alts for the purpose of, obtaining rep, recipes, knowledge points, and whatever, because my main is going to do all the heavy lifting. When the time comes, I'll be leveling 1 alt at a time until I reach 5, as there's an achievement giving an experience bonus, and it caps out at 25%. Barring server problems, this makes out for a very productive and fulfilling launch, so let's cross our fingers and, well, that's my plan. We're all here to help each other out, and I'm curious too. What are your plans for early access and general launch? What's your army going to be up to? You're welcome to share in the comments, but it would be great if you could like this video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.